Hello everybody and welcome to another biology video. Today I'm going to be talking about birds in New Zealand. The most popular bird in New Zealand is called the Kiwi Bird. You've probably heard of it before. But you're probably not going to find them roaming around forests or mountains or beaches or whatever other landscapes in New Zealand anymore. Because they're almost extinct, in fact. There's only 75,000 of them left in the wild. And I'm going to be explaining why. It all started when the Maori discovered New Zealand about 1,000 years ago, and they brought dogs as pets. There were no land predators at the time. That's why Kiwis and other birds just didn't care. They started living on the ground. Some of them even started making nests on the ground. The first bird that actually went extinct that we know about was the moa, the biggest bird in the world, even bigger than the cassowary. We went to a cave in Apple Tasman where we actually saw the bones of a moa, an entire skeleton of a small one. The way they got into that cave was supposedly that they were running away from, say, a house eagle, fell through the ground into the cave and probably broke its leg or died, and then just, evaporated throughout the years and turned into a skeleton. This bird unfortunately got hunted down by the Maori for food and by house eagles as well. And then the Europeans brought sheep and rabbits and also brought stoats to control rabbits, which then started to breed and reproduce and make lots of those stoats. And they also brought possums for fur trade. And then possums and stoats discovered that it's much easier to hunt kiwi eggs and chicks than to hunt down those crazy rabbits. Kiwis lay eggs which are about 20% of their body size, and they lay the biggest eggs relative to their body size of any bird in the world. And then the father incubates these eggs for about 2 to 3 months, and then the chick needs to grow up for 3 to 5 years, and then they can finally lay their own eggs and finally get their own chicks, which is unlikely to happen. Only about 5% of kiwi chicks survive until adulthood and get their own chicks and eggs. Another example of endangered birds in New Zealand is the kea. Kea is the only living species of mountain parrot left in the world. They can fly and they're not shy of people. So what's the problem with them? I mean, they're endangered, so why? Well, it's because they lay their eggs on the ground. And why is that a problem? Because, well, possums and stoats can easily get to the eggs. So how can we save these endemic birds of New Zealand? Well, first of all, we need to control pest animals. We need to get rid of them. Well, not fully, we keep a couple, but we need to get rid of as many as we possibly can. So the government have tried dropping poison onto the ground and laying traps for possums and stoats. Don't worry, this poison is 180 poison. It's not dangerous for birds whatsoever, only for possums and stoats. Another way, and probably the most useful way to keep these endemic birds alive, is to clear islands fully from predators and then let kiwis live there. And it's like a giant enclosure for these kiwis where they're safe and nothing's gonna harm them. This is actually the place with the most kiwis on Earth currently, on Stewart Island. So let's hope that we can finally see kiwis roaming around in nature again in about 20 or 30 years' time. Hello everybody and welcome to another biology video. Today I'm going to be talking about... Ouch.
You have a very nasty fly, and I hear that.
I know.
Try to kill it.
How? And kiwis reproduce really slowly. Kiwis lay a huge egg, about half their body size, this big.
Not half! It's about 15 to 20% of their body size, but relatively...
Mama, this is all a half!
Fantastic.